way from China. Let's give it up for LIN Shidong and KUAI.
So our Chinese pair come through up against the French pair into the last 8 here in the World Championships. Big moments. And for Prithika PAVADE, absolutely, or Pavade, I should say. It is a big moment for the youngster. We'll be looking one eye on the Olympics in our hometown. And this might be Simon GAUZY's best chance as well. Adam Bobra here with me in the commentary position because, I don't know, have the LeBrons sewed things up in the singles, you'd think? Still a year to go.
Based on the results that we've seen so far from this event and the trajectory of the LeBron brothers, they're both getting better so quickly. Simon GAUZY is still excellent, but it's tough to be improving as fast as both Felix and Alexis are at the moment.
Aladdin Khani is the umpire. Yeah, so mixed doubles might well be the way forward, or doubles of any kind.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, in terms of, he's the third right now for France, without a doubt. Emmanuel Lebesson has been in a good position for a long time. Yeah. Mixed doubles with Yuan Jianan was his best chance.
Yes.
And I thought that was where we might see him there. He's left-handed after all. But they were both eliminated by Simon GAUZY and Prithika PAVADE.
Who will choose? Red, yellow. Red. Red. Receive. Quoi? Who will receive? PAVADE. Quoi?
As for these two, it's going to be a tough ask to get to the Olympics at the next one for sure.
That said, it might not be, well, it's all going to be a tough ask, but it's reasonable that we could be looking at the world champions here in mixed doubles.
Right.
They're young, they don't have quite the experience, and maybe, yeah, sort of the well-molded teamwork that Wang Chuqin and Sun Yingxia have. So a lot of strong pairs left, but Simon GAUZY, the French showman as he's known, has a whole lot of tricks up his sleeve. Here's a look at how they got here. 3-1 over the Romanians in the round of 64. Diaconu and Edward Ionescu, as opposed to Ovidio. After that, Emmanuel Lebesson and Yuan Jianan, the pair that has been the strong starring pair in mixed doubles. And you saw the last on screen?
Yeah, beating the Germans as well. It's not been without some bumps on the road so far. And this will be, you feel, the stiffest test to date.
The Chinese pairing, LIN Shidong there, the right-hander, Kuaiman, the left-hander. The two youngsters for Team China giving their debut performance here at the World Championships. LIN Shidong, incredible power. Kuaiman, quick transitions, really good at covering the midsection. And they got through the South Africans, Chetan Natu and Danisha Patel, 3-0. After that, Kuki, Zelenka there of Slovakia. You saw the rest, so you don't need me to tell you. But what about the fan votes? 73% of you, the fans, have voted that the Chinese pair will win. If you disagree or you agree and you'd like to cast your vote, I don't blame you. I understand. Let your voice be known. Go to worldtabletennis.com. Every single match, we will have a fan vote. We've got delicious sweets available, cookies available. You can clear them if you want. And
there are also points available here for the pairs here. Champions have got 2,000 points at stake. As you said, Kuaiman and LIN Shidong have a good chance of getting maybe to the final. It could be an all-Chinese affair. Sun Yingxia and Wang Chuqin against them. Let's see.
I'm a simple man. I hear steak, I'm there. Best of 5, here we go.
They are the number 5 pair in the world, the Chinese.
Just moving up after last week in front of the Indians.
Pair. That's right. We've had the Chinese today. They've not found it completely straightforward in any of their matches. It's been interesting to watch. Oh, that's lovely. A little acknowledgement there from Shidong. Yeah, both Ma Long and Fan Zhendong dropping games today.
In terms of the mixed doubles, just in case you're newer to table tennis, they must alternate shots every shot. So it's different than tennis in that way, and serves must be on the diagonal from the right side of the table cross court. So it's a fine balance of getting out of the way after playing your shot, but not so far that you're out of position for the next shot. Coach Remy knows it well.
Let 3-1.
Ludovic Remy on the French side behind Prithika PAVADE. And Simon GAUZY with his strawberry out here, the way he pulls up on that ball to add that side and top spin to make it tricky.
I watched a fair bit of Pavard in the last Olympics. Very young, played against Singapore, pushed Feng Tianwei right to the brink, who was still in the top 10 at that point.
You know, I don't think last time we called her match, she was saying something. I got the answer as to what she was saying. That you? That's Aleo, really quick.
3,
Like that, right? Sort of
Yeah, you?
shortened.
Aleo. There it is.
Oh!
5, 3.
Pavard, close. Not quite close enough.
Yeah, they're going to have to do everything they can to stay closer to the table here. The French pairing, in terms of speed, the Chinese pair is as quick as can be. How do you beat them? Well, pressure early on.
Oh,
And it looked like a good receive. Goes wide to the forehand. LIN Shidong leaps cross court with a finishing forehand despite this strong opening receive.
yeah, beyond Simon GAUZY. That's nicely done, but still alive. Oh!
3.
Clipping the net along the way. We saw a couple of instances like this yesterday.
It's a good flick there from GAUZY. When you've got a lob like that, trying to keep it to the backhand. Pavade taking her chances going into the middle. LIN Shidong strong to turn.
4.
That one's going to sting a little bit, that previous point.
Right, you feel like when you have a ball in that position, you should be able to win the point, and rightly so. At this level, though, anything's possible, and lobs can still be quite effective to set up the next shot.
Went for it there, didn't she, Lynn?
Interestingly enough, had the ball come over the table, we would have seen a behind-the-back attempt from GAUZY. He reached behind his back because he was moving to cover the wide forehand once again. LIN Shidong keeping it surprising with the placement.
Just 2 points between these pairs at the moment. Right in this, Pavade and GAUZY. So what happened there? As he tried to receive, yeah, he looks up to the air, into the air. He's not frustrated there, but Simon GAUZY.
Yeah, he went for the strawberry, a very faint, thin contact, but just missing it.
Well, this will get entertaining now. Try to counter.
5, 9.
Pavade.
Both Pavade and GAUZY can play behind the table quite well. This lob, clearly intentional, trying to cause some trouble. Good side spin. Not quite at the baseline.
Oh, beautiful.
6,
Lovely
9.
from GAUZY.
Still shaking his head from the points before, I believe.
Yeah. He probably feels I'm owed that one.
Right, still trying to sort of pay back his partner out here.
That was
10,
awkward for him, wasn't it?
6.
Yeah, LIN Shidong has done a wonderful job here of just keeping it unpredictable. Simon GAUZY just trying to center himself, and quickly the ball's to the deep backhand corner. Now 4 game points for the Chinese pair.
Let 10, 6.
Got right under that, but not enough.
And Glenn.
Kuaiman and LIN Shidong take that first game. Some good moments for the French pair. But it is the Chinese who have won that first one, 11-6. And would some of that message from the French side of things be, look guys, you were in that for much of that game, and there were a couple of times where you were maybe a little unfortunate not to have won the points. So keep that positivity going.
The second game, Pavade to serve, love on.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of cheerleading, a lot of encouragement, a reminder that not only are you worthy, that yes, you can do this. New order of play here. They do switch after every game, not just sides of the table, but the order of play. So it's going to be the opposite. Sometimes that favors the other pair here. Now LIN Shidong and his ripping shots will be at Prithika PAVADE.
1-all.
Yeah, I saw a fair bit of Kuaiman in the star contender in Bangkok recently.
Two, one.
And she did very well in the women's doubles, teaming up with Chun Sing Tong, winning it.
This is just too good. GAUZY crosses over for the backhand on the receive. Plays the length of the table. LIN Shidong just the reach and the short side. Takes his chances as calmly as can be.
2, 3.
Yeah, this is all right from the French, isn't it?
Right in it, as they should be. They've put up a good fight. Yesterday was quite a big victory for the French pair.
4, 2.
Yeah, look, I'm enjoying the fact that they, as you say, have to kind of play a little risky at times. They are 39th in the world, playing the number 5 pair. So as we constantly say here, walk out of that comfort zone. That was lovely, wasn't it, from Pavade?
Right on the line, taking her chances here. The bounce actually sounded like it caught a little bit. Oh, all good. Just a bit of a bend, nice side spin on it. No shortage of creativity on the French side.
Let 4, 3.
I do think that's part of their training, though. They have sort of a free style of training and playing that encourages more creativity.
Why do you think them more than, say, other European nations?
When you think of France, and you think of the parks, and you think of the lifestyle, right? You think of red wine, you think of art, you think of just people sitting on benches feeding birds. There's a way of living life that just encourages creativity.
Oh, look at that.
5.
And here he attempted the snake,
Yep.
which he's incredible at, one of the best in the world, but the table was just too much of an obstacle. Oh,
Yeah.
Just missed the contact. Would have been interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another look at that.
Yeah, so you're talking about some of that, the Gallic flair. I mean, I suppose if you look at other sports as well, they're quite flamboyant, the French, in how they approach things. Here you go. There's a snake.
Oh, would have been good. Which way is the snake going to go? That's always the question. Nice parallel here, though.
Nice, really nice from Pavade.
I think also in terms of pressure, for the Chinese pair, like table tennis has been an amazing tool for China over the years. It has just brought them pride in so many ways. It's an honor to represent China, but there's so much pressure.
5.
You're expected to take gold or to only lose to a teammate from China. If you lose to anyone outside of China, there are just a handful of names where it's even acceptable. And acceptable, I feel like, might be a little bit generous.
And we discussed Fan Zhendong losing, what, 4 times now in the last 6-7 months?
That's right.
But
To
again, he's the
non-Chinese
exception,
players.
right?
Well, he's world #1, and he's been beaten by non-Chinese players quite a bit
6,
recently.
7.
For a guy who's so far out in front of the rest of the world, it's pretty shocking. But the Chinese pair here, not that far out in front of their French opponents here. Ball stays in play off the top of the net, and GAUZY and Pavade right in this.
8, 6.
Just when they were looking to draw level.
Now we can talk about equipment a bit. They're all using inverted rubber on both sides. And it looked like a little suggestion for maybe
Yeah,
a
timeout. Yeah.
Looked like it. You can always shake that off, though.
9, 6.
Remember, it's a best of 5, so this is going to be a pretty crucial game, especially for the French pair. Here's the signal. What do I want on the serve to set up a third ball that I can attack?
Take us through that inverted rubber.
So it spins the ball more. The surface area touches the ball with greater contact so that you can pull, twist, and spin the ball the way professionals typically do. It's the most common rubber in the game. We'll get into the details in a bit, but everyone out here very spinny.
4 game points. 1 saved.
7, 10.
Plenty of encouragement from the Chinese end.
Yeah,
I think that's why KUAI very quickly putting a hand up. And the Chinese pair go 2 up here. LIN Shidong and kuaiman. 11-7. So I mentioned earlier that the 2 here playing, kuaiman and LIN Shidong, are in the top 5. Now, it's very tightly bunched up between 5th and 3rd in particular. And actually just below KUAI and LIN, look at that. I think we just talked about Yanasika and Batra, who've been overtaken. So it's really, really tight, basically between 8th and 3rd. So those points on offer here, Adam, it really could move a long way.
Right, especially considering the draw. You can go to worldtabletennis.com to check it out. But Tomokazu Harimoto and Hina Hayata on the same half of the draw right now as the 4 players you see.
Shunsuke Togami and Yukiya Uda are out, losing to the German pair of Dima Optarov and Patrick Franziska, world number 2. And as good as individuals as they are, they're not ranked, the Germans.
Which is crazy. They're 2 right-handed players. They're not ranked because they don't have a lot of experience competing together.
The third game, KUAI to serve.
That's a big one, isn't it?
To take down the, 2-time consecutive national champion, Yukiya Uda. We don't see Dima too much in the doubles. It's been a long time that I can recall him playing. Patrick Franziska with Petty Solia was very close at the Olympic Games to eliminating some eventual medalists.
Love 2.
Now, in terms of rubber, the differences between these, the Chinese pairing on their forehand, their black rubbers are especially tacky, and the sponge underneath is quite hard. And what that means is, in the short game, the ball is very slow, so they can touch it with incredible control. But they have to build up a lot of speed as we come into a timeout here to get all this racket speed to carry that heavier forehand rubber to generate all the power they need for that heavy topspin shot. Look at the momentum here.
7 out of 8 have gone the way of KUAI and LIN at the moment.
Un peu de variation, voilà, continuer à travailler le point, c'est bien. Essayer de prendre le score et après.
Il n'y a pas fait qu'ils sont meilleurs que nous, mais on est commencé, on est compris.
Il faut juste faire gaffe de définition de ne pas aller trop dans les diags. Prendre des coups. Jouer milieu ligne.
Well, this is great to see. The kids are in. Love it.
I heard we've got some more on the way here. Some big table tennis fanatics from all around South Africa will be coming in when they get the chance.
Nice. Especially with the evening session after work. It'd be good to see.
Yeah, kids get busy at work.
How about that, the backhand from GAUZY. And look how far back he was as well.
Yeah, he's quite comfortable behind the table, but with that backhand counter, it's a very risky shot, low trajectory there, a bullet really, not a lot of topspin compared to his spinny backhands nearer to the table.
That's lovely from LIN.
Simon GAUZY again, no caution here. Takes his chances. made some pretty spectacular highlights over the years. Kuaiman with excellent control. Again, Simon GAUZY very spinny, and Kuaiman just closes the racket perfectly to block it back low, but it's Pavade from below the table with the finishing shot to cause trouble for LIN Shidong. Now, timing is such a big factor. This is the only time men and women play together professionally, and the timing for both men and women is very different.
3, 4.
Should also tell you, in their own right, these Chinese players also very impressive. Kuaiman is 20th in the world. LIN Shidong is 15th. That doesn't always mean it transfers across into mixed doubles, though. Yeah, and look, this has kind of been the story in sort of the mid-game period. They're not far apart, they're pretty close, but the Chinese surge ahead, and I think you've constantly made the point that they finish so well, don't they?
Yeah, end game makes the winners. You can start off rough, but to cross the finish line first, that's what matters. Now, in terms of the world rankings you brought up, quite frankly, both LIN Shidong and Kuaiman could beat many. I think would be the favorites to beat many with better rankings than they have.
Right.
So they're understated by their rankings.
Yeah. Well, I love that from Prithika PAVADE.
6.
You mentioned how good they are, both of them actually, far back from the table.
The French pair.
Point. Yeah.
To find the line right there, GAUZY doesn't miss by much. He's on the move. It's very tough to adjust when you're moving that quickly. Comes close. Still a 1-point game.
6.
And just for comparison's sake, Pavade is 80th in the world, and GAUZY is 36th. Though he has been much higher in the rankings, but that just gives you a little idea. And as you say, in any other, if they weren't from China, these guys might be even higher and be playing regularly, might even be in Olympics by now.
Yeah, the thing is, when you play for Team China, there are just so many strong players ahead of you. You have limited exposure internationally, but these two will be getting more and more. It's quite an honor to be here. Two-handed backhand.
What was that? Oh, that's amazing. Let's have a look at that again.
Simon GAUZY gets both hands on the racket to cover this heavy shot coming, and watch him come through. 2 hands on it. Man, a little bit of extra stability for the force. Both him and Hugo Calderano have been doing that for years, and 6 of the last 8 for the French pair.
7 all.
Well, that was wonderful to see.
Wow, now. I want to see a two-handed forehand from him. Not so much advantage to that. I think most would even argue there's not much advantage to a two-handed backhand, but Hugo Calderano I've talked to about it quite a bit, and he's made a good case for it.
Certainly doesn't look easy to do.
Well, let's put it this way. When you feed yourself by winning, you're not doing things out there that aren't to your advantage.
So the very simple equation here is, because we're best of 5, remember, in doubles, that LIN and KUAI, they win this and the match is done. They win this game. They're 4 away. But they are trailing by 2. Pavade and GAUZY. It's about as good as it's got for them so far. Can they see this one through and force a 4th at least? They've given themselves a real opportunity here. 3 game points for the French pair.
It's so rare to hear chanting not in Chinese.
Simone and Prithika, that was very nice with the kids.
10.
1 saved. She's not much older than some of these kids in there, you know.
Yeah, I guess it's all relative. I don't think they'd be sharing homework or anything. But yeah, relatively close. She is one of the young ones. A lot of youngsters out there right now. Simon GAUZY, the outlier, is the most experienced player on court.
They've done it. They've taken a game off the world number 5. GAUZY and Pavade still in this. They made a good fist of it here. They've taken game 3, 11-8. 2-1 to KUAI and LIN.
Restez un peu plus jeu court. Et après, dès que la première... Très bien.
Also, GAUZY. The fourth game, GAUZY to serve, Lavov.
Well, they've put themselves right back in this, GAUZY and Pavade. And carrying some of that momentum.
This was a lot of pressure on Pavade. In this moment, GAUZY goes way out. He's going to have a tough time getting back, so Pavade knows that she has to make this shot the finisher, and she does.
Nicely done on the serve.
Again, varying amounts of rotation here. This one, heavy underspin. Pavade has such wonderful feeling. It makes her very tricky to deal with.
Still alive. Oh no, not quite. Well, this is the best start they've had so far, the French pair.
The power against this. That ball was lobbed right at baseline. Pavade with confidence powers through.
Look at that shift, massive. 12 of the 16, the last 16 have gone the French way. Is that going to make it? No, it doesn't. Really had to reach across, didn't he?
It's rare to see someone at this level hit a ball like a sky twist or a lob that curves up one direction and then will come back down with the opposite direction based on the same spin.
Well, this is great.
You could hear Coach Remy up there quickly on his feet, behind the table doing everything they can. One good block. And that's what it takes. They're out in front. Pavade reaching forward to take it as early as possible.
Let 4-1.
Better response from the Chinese. Kuaiman. Getting the banana flick in.
Yeah, that banana flick is incredibly effective. In doubles, you already know which half of the table the ball is going to. The banana flick named after the shape of the motion of the racket, where you use the backhand to put side and top spin on.
3-4.
Yeah, that third ball attack, they are back in this, the Chinese.
It'd be nice to have a timeout right now for the French, but they've already used theirs.
It's a few times now we've seen the ball kind of creep under the net, haven't we?
This was an escape for the Chinese, or for the French pair rather.
Yeah.
Just saving it barely. GAUZY keeps it in play in a way that normally the Chinese pair would put away with great ease.
6.
What is it? different for the French we found in the last game and a half?
Well, first of all, they're staying closer to the table where they can. Second of all, when they're pushed behind the table, they're playing wisely. They're punching, they're putting pressure on, and when they're close, if they can't attack aggressively, they're loading it with spin. They're making the most of every opportunity.
They certainly are. The lead is now 4. That's also what they need to win this 4th game.
We see more upsets in doubles of any sort than in any other event within this major event here. And the youngsters from China, incredible players, but less experienced as a pair.
4-7.
I was saying to you off air, well, look, I assume that the Chinese would go on to win this because there's usually some kind of reaction to dropping a game.
Right.
We haven't seen that yet.
7.
Maybe we are now. 2 in a row.
Well, kuaiman looking very slick here as she turns the corner. What's the signal? Thumbnail long, like it. The attacker, the player waiting for the 3rd ball, will often tell the teammate what she wants him to serve in that case. It's the person waiting. Simon GAUZY will often make the call here because he's the 3rd ball attack.
7.
So that 4-point lead now down to 1. 3 in a row for the Chinese.
Nice adjustments here. kuaiman patiently at the back of the table, not moving in too quickly. The longer serve of Pavade not fooling her. Just a good spinny opening attack, and pressure continues to build for the French pair.
7.
No connection from GAUZY. And they are level now.
I could feel Simon GAUZY just wanted to make this the spinniest, most uncomfortable ball possible, trying to make that very faint brushing shot, but well-placed kuaiman to earn the point. 4th in a row.
8, 7.
The Chinese pair did a wonderful job to get the French pair just clogging up that wide part of the table. Congestion in that court. Pavade's going to have a tough time getting back.
Anyway, right?
And even Simon GAUZY there didn't have a lot of angle possible with his teammate right in front of him.
Well, that run of 5 points broken by the French now. That was important for them. Still in this. Discussion here. Now they've had to cover their mouths. They could have just spoken in French and it would have been fine. They've kind of gone back to retreating, haven't they, a little bit, the French?
In that rally, they were definitely pushed behind the table. The power right away. It is sort of a comfort thing. When you get used to playing behind the table, yes, it gives you a little bit more time to play and to react, but it's more ground to cover and less threat when you hit the ball back.
9.
Wow, this is tight. This is a great game, this one. Certainly the tightest one we've had so far. Yeah, look at that. He's feeling it now.
The French fire within. Coach Ludovic Remy. France has had some passionate coaches over the years and some passionate players as well. Quite a well-celebrated European nation, France.
Match point, the first one for KUAI and LIN. Oh, see a few different things going on there.
Right, there's a lot to signal. The length of the ball, the direction of the spin.
Let's see how it goes. And they've done it. KUAI and LIN. They were pushed, weren't they, in the last 2 games.
3-1.
But a result like this, even though they've lost, GAUZY and Pavade have got people thinking Olympics.
Absolutely. They've shown what they're capable of here. They put some serious pressure on the Chinese pair. We're leading 7-3 in game number 4. That's tough. They got 2 points while their opponent got 8 of the next 10 after being up or down 3-7. So the young Chinese pair showing mental toughness out here, and the power on that last ball by LIN Shidong, unreturnable.
know it's starting to get serious in any event when you start seeing the brackets. We're coming towards the final stages, aren't we? And KUAI and LIN, Harimoto and Hayata in the semi-finals. That's enticing, that one. Let's hear then from our winners, kuaiman and LIN Shidong.
LIN Shidong and kuaiman, big congratulations for making it through to the semi-finals. Tell us, what is going on in your minds right now?
恭喜快慢和施动成功晋级半决赛。现在能和我们分享一下你现在感觉如何呢？
现在还有一点在比赛场里没有出来，人完全因为刚打完没有缓过来。对。
Well, I'm still kind of feeling how I was playing on court earlier, so I'm really immersed. Takes a while for me to get out, but I'm still in the groove of the match.
Fantastic. Next up, you'll be facing the Japanese pair, Hin Hayata and Tomokazu Harimato. Please share with us, how are you going to prepare for the epic clash?
下轮将对上日本选手早田和张本，会怎么准备呢？
跟早田、张本还是没打过吧，还是就是也看过他们比赛吧，然后就是水平也非常高吧，然后两个人的配合也非常好吧，然后就下场对他们，我们还是全力以赴去拼他们嘛，对。
Well, we haven't really played against Harimoto and Hayata, so it will be the first time, but I did watch some of their matches previously. They are really strong players with very high standard of play, so what we're going to be doing will be putting up our best on court.
Thank you and all the best for your next match.
谢谢，比赛顺利。恭喜。
They clearly let the table tennis do the talking. And let's have a look at all the results from session one. There was a marathon start.